Hey guys, we want to welcome you to this week's edition of the Get Your Geek On podcast for the week of June 9th, 2017. As always, we are your hosts, Chuck KIWACZ,
Robert Dukes,
Anthony Arsenio.
And we are kicking things off this week in style. We don't have any CW shows for you, but it doesn't stop us from rolling out the announcements, and we got a fair amount of them. So starting things off with this week's edition of Sweekly. Now, one thing that we're going to be starting off here, and I want to get interested in, we got our first casting announcement for Legends of Tomorrow, our first edition, and it turns out it is going to be Isis from the Shazam family, Black Adam's wife. First of all, they've already said they're not going to be calling her Isis for political reasons. Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, dude, they made Archer change it because of ISIS. Like, so it'll be interesting to see. That's the first thing I want to see is what they're going to change her to and which origin are they going to go with her. Is she her own goddess? Does she have part of Black Adam's powers? Does that mean Black Adam
They're not going to do the Black
universe?
Adam split thing.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
I'm really, really excited to see what they're going to do here, to see a member of the Shazam family on the show. But just, I mean, I don't know too much about ISIS.
Just to have magic on the team is great.
It'll be really cool, and I wonder if they can. Is it going to be one of those things where they Shazam it up, where she has to like call out a word to transform?
She
or
does.
Like that?
She says ISIS in the comics, and she turns into.
That'd be really cool to see. I like that.
I'm sorry. I just went to a dark place.
Well, I remember when 52 was coming out years ago, like 10 years ago, and she was one of the major players in that story.
Yeah. I remember that. That was the first weekly like good series that was coming out.
Amazing.
The teams that they had on that were massive.
And all C and D listers.
Yeah, really.
Which was awesome.
And then, so it'll be interesting to see what they add her to Legends. I'm gonna hold out hope and try to see if they add something weird. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, it'd be really random if you wanted to do it, but you could put a Blue Lantern on that show. Because if you think about it, because this way you don't touch the Green Lantern universe or anything like that, they can't really do a whole lot other than like defensive and healing and stuff like that. So this way you have a Lantern in the mythos, but this way it's not somebody that's like omnipotent on the team. I mean, what
Don't
they do with
need a Green Lantern though to be like powerful.
They need a Green Lantern for offensive attacks, but they can heal and do defensive stuff without them.
That'd be fun. I would rather have like another villain.
Now, you weren't here last week. We got the news out of the Green Lantern movie that they are straight up jumping right in. Atrocitus, Larfleeze, and St. Walker are all confirmed for the Green Lantern movie.
Really?
Yeah.
They're just gonna go straight for the Spectrum War.
Yep. Which
or the War of the Lanterns.
it's the one thing I thought I'd never see. So
That's crazy.
That's absolutely insane to me, the fact that they're already going to be bringing them in. But, I mean, you're a big Lantern fan as well. Are you excited to see that?
Yeah, I mean, well, it depends. You know, it depends.
I mean, we'll see what they do with the movie
Guess see how
itself.
Justice League is.
Moving on to Supergirl, though, we did get our cast of Rain, the actress that plays this, relatively unknown. She's a model. But Rain, I was reading a little more into this week. She's basically Supergirl's version of Doomsday.
Yep.
So I'm really excited to see what they do with that. She's going to be the season-long villain. I was listening to Kevin Smith's podcast, and I guess he's coming back to direct a few more episodes of each. He's like, Andrew Kreisberg came over.
He almost spoiled the Flash.
Yeah, he's like, he laid
Supergirl.
out the whole season of Flash and Supergirl for him, and he's like, I guess Supergirl has some sort of B story that is going to like blow your friggin' mind with the characters
Same
that
with
they
the
bring
Flash,
in for
yeah.
it. I'm thinking it's Kandor. I think Bottle City Kandor might come into Supergirl.
That'd be cool.
But really, really excited to see that. And then we, of course, we got to confirm that the Thinker will be the main villain for the Flash season 4.
He's a Jay Garrick villain, right?
Yeah, he is a Jay Garrick villain, and it's interesting to know that we already know how they're going to beat him with the cerebral inhibitor because he gave us that little clue there. But it's interesting to see the first non-speedster villain, and of course we're going to get like that monster of the week thing going. But what are your thoughts on the Thinker coming to season 4?
It's not a
the speedsters.
It's not
It's not a speedster,
yeah.
which is good. I mean,
It's
like,
not a speedster. I mean, I'm sure we'll get 2 or 3 speedsters, but as like a main villain, I'm happy to see the Flash more outsmarted than outraced.
yeah. I mean, I think that's the big thing for me. I want to see. We've had 3 seasons of speedsters. Let's try something different. Because I don't think they've given guys like Mirror Master their due. I'd love to see a entire season where we have Captain Cold as just kind of.
I don't know about all that.
Rogues.
I
want
do
rogues.
because like Wentworth Miller is an awesome actor, and to have him like kind of just be that big bad out for the front and
Yeah, but
outsmarting
how
it-
long can you take the delivery like this every episode? Like, no, just
Well, it doesn't have to be on every episode, but
doses.
like I just like to have him be the overall big bad. Where let's say they get Speed Force tech and they're able to stop the Flash and they're forwarding him, and Barry has to rethink some things in order to get around it. So
Right.
that's what I'm looking for.
And then we did get the announcement that all the shows will return the first week of October, kicking off on Monday, October 8th with Supergirl.
Except with Canada.
So I hate that they're making us wait that long to film, but they have announced all the filming dates start July 4th, my birthday, yay. So I'll be excited to see the new seasons kicking off, and I can't wait to get the first pictures from the set. So moving on to another universe that is trying to jump itself off the cliff right away, and that appears to be the Dark Universe with the Mummy, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, all those monsters. Which, first of all, they're being sued by Warner Brothers. You see this?
No.
Because apparently Warner Brothers has the trademark for Dark Universe for Justice League Dark.
Oh, yeah.
Are you joking me?
Yeah, so they're going hard on them with that because Justice League Dark, it turns out, is the next movie to go into production. That and Batgirl are the next two DC movies that are jumping off. So they're really pushing hard with that. But The Mummy launches this week, which is the start of the Dark Universe, and it is launching to god-awful reviews. It is the lowest reviewed movie of Tom Cruise's career. It currently sits at 22% on Rotten Tomatoes, and they're saying that it's absolutely terrible. I'm going with Robert tonight just because I want to see how it sets up the future of this universe. But what we start off here with this bit of news really, really concerns me in the fact that so far we have confirmed the Wolfman, the Invisible Man, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and the Mummy for this universe.
All in separate movies?
All in separate movies, except Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is in the Mummy.
Dr. Jekyll, like Russell Crowe's character, is
and apparently Tom Cruise's character could pop up through the other movies. But this week they announced that they've added 2 more movies to this, which are real eyebrow turners here. And that's The Hunchback of Notre Dame and The Phantom of the Opera. Yeah.
You know what I'd rather see? I'd rather see
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
A movie universe with Boo Berry, Count Chocula, Frankenberry.
I would pay to see that movie. But I mean, Phantom of the Opera is so out of left field to me.
Yeah,
that's definitely an.
Isn't he just a guy?
Yeah,
he's just a guy.
Same thing with Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah,
it's just like it's well, I mean, there's the Igor character where you can kind of take it as the Hunchback, but
Hunchback I could understand more than anything, but Phantom of the Opera, it's like what the hell
I mean, like
doing?
there are other things.
Who's gonna see that movie?
Absolutely, I agree with you because there's been like what if it's not Hugh Jackman, doing something, probably not going to work.
We were joking before you got here, Anthony. What if they modernize it? It's like Phantom of the Dubstep. Skrillex. Wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, no.
He's got a blinky mask.
Because this is like one of those things where I will say I as a fan of the Universal Monster movies as a kid and then seeing the Abbott and Costello movies with them, I'd like to see him do something. I would, because this is something Universal's been sitting on. I know they own the property, The Hulk, essentially that, but they have not been able to create their own universe outside of this, and this is something they have. The universe.
It seems like everybody wants a universe now. Everybody's just, we want what Marvel and DC have. And it's like, if you don't have the good groundwork for it, it doesn't really
But remember, this was like the original crossover films. The Universal Monsters were like, Wolfman versus meets Frankenstein.
It doesn't mean that it's going to appeal to an audience nowadays.
Yeah, horror movies.
We've seen The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Very true. But that was meant to be funny. Like, I think if they take a serious tone, though I don't necessarily like what they... we'll have to see it tonight to really preserve judgment. But, like, I really want to see them knock this out of the park because those are really, like, iconic characters in movie history. You got to do something.
I mean, I'm just not a monster movie guy, so I don't really have anything invested in this. But, I mean, The Mummy is projected to bomb. I mean, it ran on a $120 million budget, and it's projected to open at less than 40.
That's an expensive movie.
Yeah, it's projected to open at less than 40.
Also, you have Jake Johnson. You can't fail with Jake
Yeah,
Johnson.
like he can carry a movie.
Exactly.
But so moving on this week, before we jump into our Wonder Woman spoiler review, I want to get into Anthony's poll of the week this week because it is a doozy. So Anthony, tell us a little bit about this
Paper Girls issue number 15 wraps up their current arc, so they're on hiatus now.
So if you're not reading Paper Girls, give us the 30-second elevator pitch.
All right, so 4 Paper Girls, they're about 13 years old. They meet up on Halloween night in 1988 to like kind of stick together because it's a dangerous night to be delivering papers at 4 in the morning. And there's a storm, and pretty much everyone in their town disappears, and they accidentally get sucked through time. And they're just bouncing around through prehistoric ages, the future.
The moment you say time travel to me, I'm immediately like, oh, what's up?
It's really good, man. Written by Brian K. Vaughan, who, writes Saga, and that's probably the most critically acclaimed comic book on the stands right now. And artist Cliff Chiang, who did all the Brian Azzarello Wonder Woman stuff in the New 52. It's probably my favorite book on the stands at the moment. Yeah. I just went and reread it. It's probably my favorite ongoing series at the moment, besides maybe Saga. But I mean, I get a lot more excitement reading Paper Girls than I do Saga.
Nice.
But if you haven't read it, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And the first oversized hardcover edition is coming out in November.
And I just jumped on and started reading the Rick and Morty comic. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's good.
It's just as good as the show. I love it. But now we want to jump into new rings from Bat Jeepster. Absolutely great here. I commissioned a Sinestro movie ring which I'm really, really excited about this one. But the great thing about this ring is it's got the great resin. It hits the light awesome. I'm really, really excited for this one. But I'm going to be doing full reviews on the Blue Lantern, the Sinestro, and the Flash TV show ring. I got another Flash TV show ring. I think Anthony might be interested in that one. Pop himself open into a cool Flash costume. But right now, we want to get into our Wonder Woman review here. We just want to give you a fair warning, heads up. This is going to be a spoiler review. The movie's been out for a week. If you haven't seen it at this point, why are you listening to this? Get out there and see Wonder Woman. So let's start things off with, out of your 10 rating, what are you guys going to give this before we jump in? I'm going to go ahead and say it's an 8.5 out of 10. It's a strong 8.5 for me.
For a superhero movie.
We're going for a superhero origin movie.
9.
9.
7.5.
Okay, Robert, first of all, is coming at this movie biased, all right?
No, not biased. Okay, so let's go to the spoilers and I'll give my explanation.
No, let's tell them exactly what you said to us when you walked in.
I saw the movie.
I liked it.
I liked it, and then I thought about it.
Like,
I saw the movie, I liked it, and I thought about it.
You can't think about superhero movies.
No. So, like, most of the time, just due to my profession, I think I like a movie, and then I think about it from a technical perspective. That's what made Suicide Squad and BVS very, very hard for me. It takes out the fun because you're like, okay, from a technical side, what is wrong with this film? And so, like, I like everything. I love the actors. I love the direction. I think Patty Jenkins did an excellent job. There was just that last third act that just fell flat for me.
Can we first talk about the DC intro?
Yes.
Amazing.
So cool.
Right out of Justice League Unlimited.
Seeing Green Lantern, Sinestro, and Atrocitus in that thing, but just to see Green Lantern in the Justice League. Like, he's the last member, but just to, like, he's there. He's part of it. He is part of the league.
And it's Hal Jordan.
And it's dude, it was... That just to me was that little bit of confirmation because they didn't put him in there for no reason.
No. They said I think one of the producers said everything that we do there is with intention. Mm-hmm. So what you see in that is stuff. You
see the Hawks in that thing.
Yeah.
I think it's way better than the Marvel intro personally. The new Marvel intro is cool.
The new Marvel intro.
Yeah, with the actual showing things from the movies is cool.
But
like the DC intro, that was awesome, and it was so unexpected.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Dude, it was just that little moment. Seeing Green Lantern was like shocking.
You see, you just see him with the lantern and you're like, okay.
I was screaming. I was like, yes! But that was the other thing. This movie, there was tons of women there. There was tons of little girls there. Yeah. And we were at a fan screen. Like, people were going crazy the first time, like the No Man's Land sequence.
Yeah, that was one of the...
Absolutely incredible. Yeah. Now, Anthony, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you think of the No Man's Land sequence?
Amazing.
Dude,
that's what I'll say.
When she whips the coat off and she's like, well, it's what I'm going to do. And then she starts like, dude, the theater
that's like very, very, very quintessential Wonder Woman. She's like, I'm on a mission. Hey, I need help. Okay. Boom. Helped. And that's just what Wonder Woman's always been about.
I love the little fish out of water moments. I love them going with the new 52 origin. The ice cream, like, you should be very proud.
That was right from the cartoon.
It absolutely was. But just the little moments like that were absolutely incredible. And, like, I think Gal Gadot really won me over.
Yeah,
like, I hadn't seen enough of her in BVS to, like, really judge how I love her. But I love everything about her character now. Another thing I really, really love is the fact that Steve Trevor wasn't just the useless chick. You know what I mean? I thought they were just going to... Everybody, their whole little crew all had their own little moments to shine.
And spoiler, was not expecting him to die.
Was not expecting that at all, dude.
No.
And I love that they didn't show Ares in the previews and nothing like that. They kind of learned from
Batman
Batman
vs. Superman. Surprise.
Real, like...
That's
Dude, can we talk about him burning the eye holes?
That was so cool. I mean... The only problem I had with Ares is that they didn't give him like the black face, like underneath the mask, just all shadow, because he looked like a goober with the mustache and the old British
the whole
man.
point for me, it was like I didn't mind the Ares part. It just made me feel the entire part of that film was like Danny Houston. You're like, okay, and you're like, and then to have the guy show up, you're like, where did you come from?
Yeah,
that's what really bugged me. But outside of that, I like the Ares character. I think he was a great villain to start off with.
Yeah.
I kind of I'm hoping in the next Wonder Woman, because there should be a sequel, right?
Yeah, they've already announced
There's already a sequel. It's got to be like, well, World War II happens and...
Cheetah.
No, it's going to be modern day. It's Cheetah. Yeah.
Really? Oh, come on.
And that was the other thing. The cool thing that Pat
I
Jenkins
would like
confirmed,
those movies to just explore her backstory. That'd be awesome.
She cannot fly, so that was one of the cool things. She can do like huge jumps and fashion and stuff like that.
Wonder
That was it was one of the misleading things at the end there. You couldn't tell if she's flying.
She flies all the time.
Yep, I'm just saying, like, as far as the movie, she can't fly when the movie takes place. So, and she's already 1,000 years old at the time of the movie, which is cool.
Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. And, so one of the things I want to get into here, Themyscira. What'd you guys think?
Beautiful.
I thought it was incredible.
Where'd they shoot that?
Every actress was
Croatia?
Fiji.
Yeah,
Fiji. It's gorgeous.
Every actress was a UFC fighter, female boxer, Olympian. Like, they were all ridiculously well-trained athletes. Totally incredible. They've also confirmed that Robin Wright and the other guy, Antiope and Hippolyta will be back for Justice League. I loved Robin Wright as Antiope.
Okay, yeah, that was one of those things where, like, I felt, again, thinking about the movie, you have Robin Wright, who kills it on House of Cards. Give her more lines.
Yeah.
But
Please.
she was huge. But first of all, just the overall visual appeal
Yeah.
of Paradise Island.
Amazing.
It looked like it was ripped right off the page.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree.
I love all the little moments with her training and things like that. But I think one of the coolest things is just that little scene with the German soldier, like reaching in and out of the forest field to like see the plane and stuff like that. So it was cool. And it was just those little moments. But I mean, once she gets off the island, the way she jumps right into the work. First of all, Steve Trevor's assistant, like little scene stealer, the little British chick, like when she's trying to
from
leave
The
with the
Office.
sword and shield. Just the little moments like that. But I think the overall appeal of this movie was that it's that balance, like where you have this Batman that's this dark and gritty, and this Superman that's
It's
like this
the Andrew
vulnerable
Kreisberg
hero.
model.
It
Heart,
is
humor, spectacle.
Heart, humor, spectacle, but she is just this pillar of strength and love. And people would say it's cheesy, the whole like love will set us free. And like you need that.
That's her whole
who
thing.
she is.
Yeah.
But it's like you need that balance to like the dark ridiculousness that is Batman versus Superman in this universe. But I absolutely love everything about this. But I mean, now let's touch on this for this being not only an origin movie, which I think really hit out of the park. A lot of origin movies tend to be really weak. They get too much into like how the hero was made and the ridiculous villain and stuff like that.
Yeah, jump right in.
Really,
It jumped
really
right
got
in.
into
I
this.
wanted more, though.
And I liked it was told via flashback.
Yes.
Yeah, like
that's why I was hoping.
a
That's
memory.
what I was hoping, because you might have heard me when we did this a few weeks, like months ago, when I said like it has to be Bruce Wayne. She has to explain it. And the whole thing is when you see the beginning of the movie, you see the Wayne Enterprises truck come up, and he sends her that picture saying, "I thought you'd like this," and I was like, "Thank you for connecting that."
I love the shirt. It's like,
that's
thank
good.
you for bringing him back to me.
Yeah.
But now, first of all, let's jump into what you guys thought of the villain Ares overall. Like, I like the little plot twist there. I definitely didn't see it being him. So,
No,
I mean,
not at all.
No,
That was a nice little twist there.
but I would have liked to see something.
You know, that's Lupin from Harry Potter.
Yes.
Right? Which he's the villain on this season's Fargo too. So it's like,
Really?
yeah, and he's a really good villain too. But so I mean, what do you guys think? What is something that you would tweak from this movie if you're taking away anything?
I mean, I would like to say I would have toned down like the mass amount of sex jokes that were in it.
A lot of dick jokes for a kids movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just checking our breaking news.
Because
here.
you see all of Steve Trevor except for whatever's in his hands when he's like standing in the bath. It's just like,
Are you a
whoa.
typical example of your
That
sex?
that went from like me not wanting to take like a 13-year-old to see it to
It was awkward because I had little
Yeah.
girls sitting right behind me.
yeah, it's just weird. That
Yeah.
and I think too much slow mo in a short time during the battle when
I
she's
love
fighting
when
the
theme
soldiers.
song comes in.
It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
like
'cause
the fight scenes were surprisingly great.
Dude, can we talk
But
about where she goes
too
diving through
much.
that window and like the scene where she slides on the floor?
No,
on the
what
shield
about
and stuff?
the bell tower?
Oh,
The sniper in the
did not see that coming.
I thought she was gonna go in there and like beat the crap out of the guy. She just goes in there and the whole thing falls to the ground, and everyone in the theater just
It was so
it's
awesome.
like, oh, well, she's a goddess, and
But the No Man's Land sequence for me is what that whole movie just the,
and it
the
got to
soundtrack for it was
showcase
incredible.
everything that's great about Wonder Woman's fighting style.
Dude, and then just her taking the mortar fire, just batting it, like it was just absolutely incredible. One thing I wish they'd done a little bit more though is the origin. Like show a little more with Zeus, show a little more
yeah.
of the Amazons and like how durable they are. And
I think they wanted you to be kind of in the same boat as her, where you didn't really know what the true origin was. You know,
Well,
'cause-
that's fine, but like I think what I would have liked to happen in BBS is kind of the intro where they go over Batman's origin, but kind of go through his history.
I don't need to see a Batman origin ever
again. And that's what they heard me about BBS. Is like, okay, why are you doing this? We all know the story. You know, show like there's obviously stuff has happened with Wonder Woman. I do want him to explain that just a little bit more because, like, for me, Ares came out of left field. Like,
Yeah.
completely came out of left field. You know, and I would have loved to see it. Like, I'm sorry, it's Cheetah, not knocking Cheetah, but I was like, I would like to have seen that kind of continue. Saying, you know, she, you know, next week she's telling another story about, you know, World War II and the things she's faced.
I don't want it to
See,
suddenly
I'd
become
rather
story
have-
time with Diana Prince.
I'd rather have it. I'd rather have her fight some new gods in the next season. Like, wouldn't you love to see like Wonder Woman versus the Furies or something, or like versus Big Barda? That'd be great.
That'd be really cool. But I mean, overall, I think this was a great. So for the origin movie, I think they nailed it all the way. Now let's get into the fact this is the first female superhero movie. I never felt like this was a female superhero movie.
No, I
which
didn't.
absolutely.
It
The
was
fact
just
that
a
she was a
superhero
woman
movie.
It was a superhero
never
movie.
was part of the plot. It was
No,
never
not at all.
like, I can't believe she's doing this because she's a woman. Like
Not like
the
the
things
Supergirl
where
movie
she
from
was
the
a woman,
80s.
it was like just her outfit or being
Yeah.
in like it was the things for the time. It was never about her being a woman and doing all this stuff, which I think was absolutely great. You can tell a woman directed this movie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can feel Patty Jenkins all over it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now let's talk about that. Now, what does this set for the trend for female superhero movies going forward?
Well, I think with the next one, we're going to see
Captain Marvel,
Captain
then
Marvel,
Batgirl, right?
and then Batgirl. And so
We're gonna get Batgirl before Captain Marvel.
when are they?
Captain Marvel's not out till 2020.
Okay.
She's gonna debut in Infinity War, but her movie's not out till 2020.
Okay, then that
So Batgirl's next.
Batgirl's next. So
Or
DC will be
they're
two
doing Birds
movies
of Prey
in before.
too, right?
Yep.
yeah.
No,
so-
Gotham City Sirens, not Birds of Prey.
Pass.
what's wrong with Gotham City?
Ugh, I just don't
I'm just
care.
saying, how sad is that they're going to be like 2 to 3 movies deep in the
I'm not
female
gonna
side
bank my,
before
like,
Marvel even
my
gets to
entire-
work.
Well, it
hope-
depends on this. If Josh Whedon, because his fingerprints are supposed to be all over Batgirl.
And Justice League, which is now going over significant reshoots.
Yeah.
Adding a Green Lantern.
Who knows? Shh.
Oh my God!
Dead Air, Robert. Get
Dead
to-
Air. We did it. This is the first time.
First time, Dead Air. It was like when you made me think you said Green Lantern. I'm like, I just popped in my head Jude Law, but I was like,
Oh.
I was
Okay.
like, so that's what I was like. Wait a minute.
Now, just want to do state tonight that quick breaking news that the Black Panther trailer is going to debut tonight during the NBA Finals.
I'll watch that on YouTube.
Really?
YouTube.
It'll air 3 hours
Really?
before on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh,
Really? During the NBA Finals?
Gee, that's not racist.
That doesn't sound bad at all.
you
don't wanna
heard
see
it here.
Black Panther
Look
do
at
a
Robert's
slam
dead eye
dunk?
staring at the camera. I love it. Hashtag equality. Hashtag I'm with him.
Really, the NBA Finals?
Well,
They know their demographic.
there's a white guy.
So like we said, so like overall, and I love that this movie didn't have a post-credit scene too, so I didn't have
Yeah.
to stick around for them to show me
Well,
something
I
instant.
That movie
expect
was
that.
so long that I didn't even want to sit there
Dude,
for any longer.
but it's got me hyped for Justice League.
it does.
We're
Yeah.
4 months away.
It does. It does.
And I hope she knocks it out of the park because
And I really would just watch it for her.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Now knowing how good
I
she
really
is,
hope they put Batman and Wonder Woman together in
that'd
these
be
movies.
that'd be really
Well,
really
that's what
cool.
they're
From the
hinting at.
cartoon. Oh, I would love that.
that's what they're certainly hinting at because the idea is that there's something that is appealing to her. Like I mean, like you've seen that episode of Justice League Extreme where they're like sitting there, they're just having this is like team members shouldn't date. She's like, it's like, you know, if there's dangers, like I'm a goddess. It was like I'm like, what else you got? Come on. It's like I can fend for myself.
So I mean, overall, I think this movie really puts DC back up on a bit more level playing field going into Justice League, which I think if they can hit Justice League out of the park, it'll really set.
Hey
things
man,
on
Wonder
course.
Woman was better than some of the Marvel
And
movies.
it's destroying records. It's already up over 300 million.
That's
worldwide.
great.
So, love seeing that.
Everyone thought it would flop.
Everybody.
I
It
know,
was only
no-
tracking for $70 million originally for the opening weekend.
And they crushed it on Friday.
Like that movie crushing it was the opening was like, no, this is going to be a good film. I mean, like, are you stupid?
So I mean, needless to say, I mean, any final words on Wonder Woman? I say get out there, see this movie at least once in theaters. I've seen it twice already.
I'm
Loved
going to
it.
see it again this weekend.
See it in 3D if you can too. There's one of the few times
I
where
did
3D
see.
was actually worth
I did
it.
see it in 3D. It was good.
The arrows, everything was really, really cool.
When did you guys go? I went Thursday.
I went to
at
the premiere,
6.
I went to the Thursday.
Yeah, I went to Jordan's. But yeah, so overall, Wonder Woman, great movie. That thing is going to wrap things up for this week. Next week, we'll be taking a look at The Mummy, Rough Night, and Transformers, hopefully. I'm so excited for that movie.
The Mummy.
Transformers. So for this week's episode of the Get Your Geek On podcast, I've been Chuck KIWACZ,
I'm slightly disappointed.
I'm the NBA Finals.
and you guys have a week.
Wah, wah, wah.